Hello everyone, welcome to my other video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use PHP with React. So let's get started. So at first you have to open your terminal and check the version of npm and create React app. So write npm space -- version to check the version of npm, and then write create -react -app to check the version of create React app. In case you don't have installed npm and React in your system, you can go to the description section. So now we have to create your project, create your React project using npx space create -react -app and then your app name. I am naming it as react-php. So before the line you need to give root permission, so write sudo and then press enter, and it will install all the dependencies inside react-php folder. So you need to give root permission, or you can say read-write permission into the react-php folder. So write sudo space chmod space 777 space -r and then react-php and press enter. Okay, so you need to just open or enter into the project folder, write cd space react-php, and as I am using VS Code, so I am writing code space dot to open the project inside my code editor, that is VS Code. So if you go to the package.json file, you can see all the dependencies that have been installed here. So go back to your terminal and run the React server using sudo space npm space start, press enter, and it will start the React server in your system. And you can see the address is given here, so copy the address first, and you can see the localhost is running on 3000 port. So just paste it and you can see the default React project is there. Okay, so now go to the app.js file. So here you need to design the application. I'm just designing a simple form. There will be one input box and one input field and one button. The input field will be text type, and the button, and if we press the button, it will save the text, whatever it is inside the text, using PHP. So write button here, and you have to give the ID. I'm giving the ID as text, and also giving the ID of button as submit. So save it and go back to your browser, and you can see the minor changes here. So I need to fix this, or I have to design it so that it looks much more better. Okay, so break the line for the save button, and I'm changing the class name of my division into app header, and giving the placeholder as enter some text. Okay, so if you go inside the index.html file, you can apply the bootstrap library too. So I have applied bootstrap library, bootstrap version 4 library here, and you can just design for your own. So I'm defining the class name as btn success. So again, the class name for input field as form control. So after designing the page, it looks like something like that. Okay, so now what we will do is we will change this functional component into a stateful component. So write class space app extends component, and now I have to import the component 2 from the React. So here I have to render the part. So inside the render method I have to return. So copy the whole thing, cut the whole thing and paste it inside. So delete the rest of the part. Okay, now go back to your browser and you can see the changes here. So it is basically the previously I have created a functional component. Now I am creating a stateful component. So I have to create two functions here. So one to save whatever I will write inside my text box, and the another one, that is handle submit, is to save the text into the database. Okay, so I'm breaking all the attributes here for better understanding. So here I had to write on change event, and it will basically call the handle add method whenever there will be any change inside the text box, and then inside the button I'm going to write on click event here, and whenever the button will be clicked, it will call the handle submit method. Okay, the value will be for now. So here you have to declare state, and the text is for now null. Okay, so the value will be this dot state dot text. Okay, so now inside the handle add method write await space this dot set state, and whenever any change will be there inside the input field, it will change the state of text, that is write e dot target dot name. Okay, no need to write it, just write text and assign it e.target.value. So whenever any changes will be there, it will assign or change the state of the text into any value, and also delete the value attribute from here. And inside the handle submit button, just console log the value whatever you will write inside the input field. So write this.state.text. So go back to your browser, open inspect and console inside your browser. So write any text here inside the input field and click on save, and you can see the console message, that is some text. So now I'm going to install a library here. So open your terminal into the same directory and write sudo space npm space I space axios. Enter your password and it will install axios in your system. Basically, I will need this to send request to the PHP server. So to prevent the default behavior, I have to write e.prevent default inside the handle submit method. So inside the handle submit method, write let form data and create an object of form data. Form data dot append, and here you have to pass the name of the post request. And remember, whenever you will fetch from the post request, you have to use text there. So the two arguments will be there, one is text as the name and then the value, that is this.state.text, and then you have to provide the URL, write const URL and http://localhost, and by default the PHP server will run, that is in apache2 server it will run on port 80, and I will create the folder named react backend. So I'm giving the react backend as a directory, and then write axios.post and write URL and form data, and it will basically return a promise. So write .then and console the response here. So write console.log res.data and then catch. If it gets any error, it will print the error here. So write error arrow function console.log and the error. Okay, so that's it. And go back to your browser here, open a new tab, just write inside the search bar CORS Chrome extension and open the second link, that is Mosif origin and CORS changer, and enable the CORS extension. Just switch on it and go back to your browser again. Okay, now coming to the backend part. So it will basically need any Apache server to run PHP code. So you may use XAMPP to run PHP, and I'm using default apache2 directory here. So I'm going to my var folder and then www and then html, and inside the html folder I'm creating a directory named react backend, whatever I have given inside the link, if you can remember. So you need to give read and write permission to this folder too. So write sudo space chmod space 777 space -r and then the folder name, that is react backend, and open to that folder, enter to that folder and write code space dot, as I am using VS Code as my text editor. And before that you need to create a file, that is index.php. So write sudo space touch space index.php and then open text editor into the same directory. So before inserting the data from React, I will show you how to insert data for testing. So you can use PHP MyAdmin 2 for creating table. I'm using MySQL Workbench here. So I'm creating a table and naming the database as react_php, and also the table name as react_php. I'm giving the column name as id and texts. So for id will be integer and for text it will be varchar. So you can see the query. So it has created a table. So you can see the table is there, and okay, I need to change the name of the table to react_php. Okay, so now go back to your VS Code or text editor, and okay, so write server name as variable and pass localhost here. So the default port address for this localhost to run apache2 server is 80, so you don't need to worry about that. Just write server name as localhost, and the username for the MySQL is root, and also the password. So write your username and password accordingly. So the username and password is root for the both, and then write database name. So my database name is react_php. I've just created the database right now. So now you have to write a variable and assign MySQLi _connect and pass all the 4 variables that you have defined earlier serially. So write server name, comma, username, password and database name. Okay. Okay. Now write the query for inserting any data into the table. So write insert into the table name, that is react underscore php, and then the column name, that is texts, and the value. So write values, and inside it the value of the column name that I want to pass. So just writing for testing my first text and give a semicolon there. So now write mysqli underscore query, and inside it just pass 2 parameters, that is connection and query, and you don't need to give dollar here. So wrap it inside the if, and if the operation is successful it will echo like data has been inserted successfully, and if it is not, then it will give an error as message. Okay. So now start the apache2 server. Write sudo space service space apache2 space start, and if you are running XAMPP, you can directly go to the XAMPP directory. So for me, I have to go to localhost and then react backend, that is my folder name, and then index.php. So inside the URL I have to write localhost /react -backend -index.php. So press enter, and you can see the message as data has been inserted successfully. And if you go back to the MySQL workbench, we can see the data has been inserted successfully. Okay, so now you need to receive whatever is passed from the front end. So write rec text, that is received text, and equals to $_post, and remember the name I have given there, that is text, and to write whatever you are sending from the front end, and you can see inside the form data.append text is there. So you need to write text inside the $post. So I had to cut and paste inside the before the query, because I need to pass whatever I will get from the front end. So I have to pass the variable, that is receive text, inside the insert query, and that's it. Go back to browser So click on inspect and go to the console. Okay, so now enter any text here, like this is a new text. Click on save. So in the console you can see data has been inserted successfully. And if you go to the MySQL workbench, you can see the changes here. That is, one data has been inserted. And I'm again inserting the data. I'm writing React and PHP, and inside the console you can see React and PHP as output, and then the data has been inserted successfully. And if you check the table, you can see the changes. So that's it. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please click on the subscribe and like button.